Hello, Business 493 students. This is Professor Hassey. It's Thursday, June 18th, and I'm speaking to you live in Personal Money Management headquarters here in Claremont, California, and welcome. This is our off week class number 2 introduction video for our class next Wednesday, June 24th. And many of you are have already posted your assignment number 1. A couple students still remain to be posting, and I'll have all your grades and solutions up this weekend, this coming weekend, June 20th and 21. So look forward to seeing you all at those, or look forward to you to review your first assignment, which was worth 20% of your course grade. Our topic this week for class number 2 next Wednesday is banking and borrowing. And we're going to be talking about ways of banking and budgeting, not banking and borrowing, banking and budgeting, and ways of doing and preparing and planning for budgets. A budget sometimes for a lot of people is tedious and a pain in the neck, but it can be very simple, very basic, and can help you immensely in your personal money management. Let's take a look at a couple of videos in preparation for next Wednesday's class in regards to helping us with our money management skills. Just a sec.
Do you ever feel stressed about money? Unless you're a prince or a preschooler, you probably said yes.
For a lot of people, it always feels like there's not quite enough to go around. You're constantly having to make tough decisions about what you can forgo, and it never feels like you're really in control of your finances.
Well, when you need a bit of inspiration, look no further than the front of a $1 bill. I'm talking about this guy, George Washington. Besides being the first president of the United States, General George Washington was the commander of the ragtag Continental Army during the Revolutionary War. He must have felt like he never had enough soldiers to go around, but by making a plan, he was able to lead that army to victory over the greatest fighting force in the world.
You can take a cue from George by becoming commander-in-chief of your finances. Each one of these is a soldier in your army, and your battle plan is a budget.
I know, the word budget makes most people want to go AWOL. In fact, according to a 2016 Gallup poll, only 32% of couples keep a written budget of any kind. But if you were a soldier, would you want to follow a general who was making it up as he went along?
A lot of people tend to think of budgeting as prediction, estimating what you'll make in future months and how you'll want to spend it. But the most effective budgets work exclusively with present dollars. After all, you can't give orders to soldiers that don't exist. So the size of your army is only how much money you currently have in your bank accounts. And as general, your role is to give every last one of those soldiers a job to do. So if you have a total of $10,000 across all of your accounts, you need to decide how much of that you're going to spend this month and how much you're going to set aside for savings.
Before we can decide how much we want to spend, we need to know how much we're spending now. Print out your last 3 months of bank statements and put each expense into one of 5 categories.
Essentials. These are the things you can't do without. Rent, utilities, groceries, gas, car payments, health insurance, anything you need to live or do your job effectively.
Security. These are expenses that increase your financial stability, like building emergency funds or paying off debts. Don't double count credit cards in this category though. If you use a card to buy groceries, that expense should go in essentials.
Goals. This is money you set aside to achieve big life goals, like saving up to buy a house, starting your own business, or taking a special vacation.
Lifestyle. These are expenses that help you navigate your social world. Personal grooming and apparel, gifts for friends and family, gym memberships, even pet needs can go in here.
Discretionary. This category is all about treating yourself. Going out to dinner, renting a movie, buying a video game, or getting a massage.
Everyone has their own priorities, but think of this as a good battle plan template, with the most urgent needs at the top and the more flexible ones towards the bottom. Now that you know how much you generally spend on these categories, you can start assigning your soldiers to next month's duties.
Unless you're living paycheck to paycheck, you probably have some money left over, but don't let those soldiers just sit around. Decide what you're saving them for. Is it an emergency fund or a Hawaiian vacation? Savings that have explicit purposes are a lot harder to steal from.
Congratulations, you've made your first month's budget. Now how do you make it stick? Number 1, write it down. You can use a spreadsheet, an app, or good old pencil and paper. But no general ever won a war by keeping all their strategy up here.
Number 2, update it. Conditions on the ground will change, so re-strategize at the beginning of every month, and you'll have new soldiers to deploy in next month's battles.
Number 3, use advanced technology. Thanks to the dozens of budgeting apps you can download for your phone, no one has to keep a checkbook longhand anymore. This can be especially helpful for discretionary spending. Now you can know right away whether you can afford that Weird Al album on vinyl.
So how do you know you're budgeting correctly? Well, the most obvious answer is that you're less stressed.
Imagine enjoying a dinner out without worrying about whether or not you can afford it. Imagine not holding your breath every time you check your account balance. You'd be amazed how much you can improve your mood just by introducing more clarity and control into your finances.
Like a lot of good financial habits, the point of budgeting isn't to have more money. It's to be happier with the money you have.
And that's our 2 cents.
We want to tell you about the new PBS.
Okay, that was a kind of a dorky video, but it kind of gave the basics about why you need a budget and helpful hints on how to create one. And we'll be talking about other aspects of how to creating a budget and why a budget is important again in class next Wednesday night. But it gives us a start. There's a couple other videos that are in week number 2. And again, here's the front page of your Blackboard. For many of you in the next day or so, by the weekend, you'll see in the report card section your grade for the first assignment, and you'll be able to see that and click on that in your grade center and get your returned work to you. Also, go to class number 2 in your Blackboard, and you'll see the information to get you prepared about our class next Wednesday night on budgeting. There's our agenda again. There's that budget we just saw, or that video we just saw, and then a couple other budgets. Ooh, I got budget on my mind. Then another couple of videos that you might want to look at. Excel, creating a personal budget spreadsheet, how you could do this in an Excel format, and also Budgeting 101, which is a different way of preparing budgets, a different way of doing not on a spreadsheet, but just keeping track of a notebook of your budget. So there's all different kinds of things, and plus some additional videos in our YouTube site for you to prepare for. So that's going to be our introduction to next week's class. I hope you're all enjoying the course so far. We're still in our early going, but we have our second class next Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock. If you can't make class because of work or whatever, just send me a little email so I can record the class so you can look at it on YouTube after the session. If you have any questions on your grades this weekend, just feel free to just put a question in the discussion forum or send me an email, and I'd be happy to answer any questions about your grade and or the solutions to assignment number 1. So this is what we have to look forward to next week. I look forward to working with you again next Wednesday, June 24th. So this concludes our introduction video. I want to wish you all a good weekend. I hope you be well and be safe, and we'll see you next Wednesday night, everybody. Thanks a lot. See you then.